She came home without her panties. I didn't say anything at first. Just watched. She kicked off her sneakers, peeled her jeans off, and bent down to grab her robe from the side of the bed. That's when I saw it. Nothing underneath. No lace. No thing. No lines. Just her. And not in the way I used to enjoy. She caught my eye in the mirror. Smiled. Said, "Hey babe," like it was the most casual thing in the world. It didn't hit me immediately. You ever have one of those moments where something feels off, but your brain takes a second to register it? That was me. Just sitting there on the edge of the bed, holding my coffee like a zombie, wondering if I actually saw what I thought I saw. Then it hit me. Lauren always wore something under her jeans. Always. She hated how the denim felt without it. That's not just something I made up. I've been folding her laundry for 6 years. I know her habits better than my own. And now, out of the blue, she walks in from a massage appointment commando? I stared at the floor for a second, like it was gonna answer me. The bathroom door shut behind her. Water started running. Hot, too, steam crawled under the door in no time. Then came the humming. She always hummed after she was in a good mood. After we, but we hadn't done anything in over a week. She said she was stressed. Now she was humming, steaming, glowing, and bare. That's when the first real thought crept in. Quiet. Almost ashamed to show its face. Did he touch her? I shoved it away. Told myself I was being paranoid. That maybe she just forgot. Maybe the panties were in her gym bag or got left in the car. The worst part? I couldn't even ask. Because what was I supposed to say? Hey honey, noticed you didn't have any underwear on when you got home from your massage. Did your therapist undress you and forget to give them back? That wouldn't go over well. And if I was wrong, I'd look insane. So I sat there, pretending to scroll through my phone, trying to act normal while my brain was spiraling in 100 directions. She came out of the shower in her robe, with hair up in a towel, cheeks flushed, walked straight to the kitchen and ate 3 chocolate donuts like she hadn't seen food in days. That's when my stomach turned. See, Lauren doesn't eat sweets. She's a gym junkie. Calorie tracker. Gluten-free, sugar-free, dairy-free, until the one night a week we'd have our cheat day. And even then, she'd nibble on half a brownie like it was radioactive. But after a really good night between us, she'd eat everything. Said it made her feel grounded. I used to think that was cute. Now it felt like I was watching her celebrate with someone else's win. I didn't sleep much that night. Just laid there in bed, staring at the ceiling, listening to the sound of her light breathing. She was out cold, peaceful. I was wide awake, trying to make sense of what my gut was screaming at me. That wasn't just a massage. And I wasn't crazy. Next morning, I made her breakfast. Played it cool. Eggs, toast, coffee with almond milk, just how she liked it. She gave me a quick kiss on the cheek and said she had editing to do. She worked from home, freelance video editor and part-time content creator. Mostly ads, some social media work. Sometimes she did contracts from influencer types who sent her raw footage to chop up into something viral. She had a client call in the afternoon, said she needed quiet. I went into the garage to tinker with the lawnmower, which honestly didn't need fixing. I just needed to think. That's when I noticed something else. Her phone never left her side. Ever. Even when she took a shower. Even when she went to the bathroom. I used to tease her about it, called it her emotional support device. But now it was off limits. Even during dinner, it sat screen down on the edge of the table, and if it buzzed, she'd swipe it silent like it burned her fingers. It buzzed a lot lately. 3 days later, something weird happened. Lauren left her laptop on the kitchen island. Unlocked. Screen still lit up. Looked like she'd just gone to the bathroom and forgotten to close it. That never happened. She was meticulous about locking her stuff. Passwords on everything. Biometrics. Even the photos on her phone were in password-protected folders. But there it was. Open. I wasn't trying to snoop. Honestly, I just glanced at the screen as I passed by on my way to grab a beer. Final Cut Pro was open. Video timeline up. I could see a paused frame, right there in the preview box. It was me. Us. One of those videos. The kind of thing you film in the moment, caught up in the heat, back when things are new and exciting and your whole world revolves around each other. The kind of video you promise will never leave the hard drive. Just for fun. Just for the two of you. Except this one had a watermark on it, a price tag, and a shopping cart icon in the corner. I stepped closer. Clicked play. Just a few seconds. It wasn't just edited, it was produced. There was music, titles, filters, cuts from different angles. I hit pause and just stood there, like my soul had frozen. She sold it. Lauren sold our tape. To strangers. For money. I didn't even know what to do. My hands were shaking. I closed the laptop gently, quietly, like I was afraid of waking something. She came out of the bathroom, still towel-wrapped. Smiled like nothing had changed. I couldn't even look at her. I waited until that night to confront her. She was brushing her teeth, talking about her next client call, when I picked up the laptop and walked into the doorway. I didn't say a word, just held it out and opened the screen. She froze, toothbrush halfway to her lips, froth on her chin. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I just stared at her. Finally, she said the words that sealed everything. You weren't supposed to see that. Not I'm sorry. Not let me explain. Not it's not what you think. Just that. That's when I knew it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a slip-up. It was a full-blown double life. What came next? Well, that's where things really started to fall apart. And trust me when I say, the videos were nothing compared to what else I found. I didn't sleep that night. Not a minute. She laid beside me, peaceful, like nothing had happened. After I showed her the video on her laptop, she gave me some excuse, said she was just experimenting with editing techniques. That it wasn't what I thought. That the watermark was accidental. That it was just an old clip. She cried. She begged. And when she realized I wasn't buying it, she switched tones like flipping a switch. Said I was invading her privacy. Said I was controlling. Said this was why she couldn't be open with me. That right there? That's how I knew she'd done this before. She was ready for me to find it. Maybe not today. Maybe not this week. But eventually? Yeah. She'd already built the narrative. Paranoid husband, emotional abuser, video editor who just got too creative. But that night, when she turned over and pulled the blanket around herself like I was the bad guy, I knew. This wasn't a one-time betrayal. It was a whole system. A business. Lauren always kept backups. That used to be something I admired about her. She was organized, tidy, one of those people who had labels on every folder and color-coded calendars. She ran her editing business with the precision of an accountant. She once said to me, I don't trust memory, I trust backups. It used to be a joke. Now it was a warning. Because if there were more videos, more files, more men, then she had them somewhere safe. Not just on her laptop. I just had to find them. She left early the next morning for her usual Saturday run. Same black leggings, same oversized hoodie, same slick ponytail. She waved goodbye, kissed me on the cheek. And for the first time in 6 years, I didn't kiss her back. Once the door shut, I didn't waste a second. I opened her laptop, same password as always, the day we got married. Month, day, year. Romantic back then. Now it felt like I was unlocking a vault full of grenades. Her browser had tabs open, client email, Google Calendar, YouTube, but one caught my eye immediately. ClueDrivePro.com. Her backup server. I clicked in. It auto-logged her. That last one. Password protected. I tried the wedding date again. Access granted. There were 12 folders. Each one labeled with just 2 letters. TM. And so on. I opened one. TM. And what I saw made me dizzy. Thumbnails of video files, clearly organized by time and scene. Living_room_night01.mov. Bathroom_mirrorplay.mp4. Car ride_February9.mov. All with timestamps. Most under 10 minutes. Some over 20. Edited. Branded. Ready for upload. And not a single one had my name on it. These were other men. Dozens of videos. Professionally shot. Sometimes at hotels, sometimes in our home, sometimes, God help me, in our garage. The same place I'd built a playset for our son. Some files had notes. Payment receipts. Payout logs. I checked the other folders. Same story. Different men. Different locations. Same structure. Each folder had a PDF called agreement.pdf. Looked like fake contracts. Like she'd staged these scenes with fake NDAs so if anyone got suspicious, she could pull the legal agreement card. But then I saw something even worse. Folder, JL. My initials. I opened it. Inside were photos. Of me. Sleeping. Watching TV. Playing with the kids in the backyard. Carrying groceries. Each file had captions. Make him look innocent. Use in case he files charges. Blur face if publishing. Label him as abusive ex if needed. Email backups to REDFOLDER every 10th of the month. She had blackmail files on me. And not just digital ones. She had a system. A backup of the backups. I started taking screenshots. Every folder name. Every PDF. Every note. I didn't want the videos, God, no. But the evidence? I needed it. I copied it all onto a thumb drive from the office drawer. Small. Black. Generic. Something she wouldn't notice gone. I didn't know what I was going to do with it yet. But I knew this much. If she ever tried to take the kids, or ruin my name, or twist this story, I'd be ready. She came home sweaty and smiling like she'd just saved the world. "Want eggs?" she asked from the kitchen. I nodded, sat at the table, played dumb. She cooked, hummed, talked about wanting to take a short trip, just the two of us. "We need to reconnect," she said, flipping a pancake like she was trying out for MasterChef. I smiled. Sounds good. Inside, I was calculating. How many more files were out there? Were any of them online already? Did she have another phone? A burner? How far was she willing to go? I was about to find out. That night, I waited until she fell asleep again. Deep sleep, mouth slightly open, arm draped across my chest like she owned me. I slowly reached under the bed, grabbed her gym bag. Tucked inside, hidden in the shoe compartment, was a second phone. Burner. Cheap. Cracked screen. No lock. And on that phone? A chat app I'd never seen. Messages to 3 different men. One of them was saved as Doc Mitch, the massage therapist. "Doc Mitch, you free tomorrow, or is hubby still nosing around?" "Lauren, he's quiet." That means suspicious. "Doc Mitch, want me to rough him up a little?" Winky face. "Lauren, don't tempt me, lol. Not yet. Let him stew." I stared at those words until they stopped looking real. Not just betrayal. Not just secrets. She was making plans. Contingencies. And the worst part? She had control over the narrative. If I blew up, if I shouted, if I pushed too hard, she had everything in place to make me the bad guy. Screenshots. Notes. Recordings. It wouldn't matter what I found. If I lost my temper, she won. So I stayed quiet. And I planned. The next morning, I packed up for work like nothing happened. Kissed her forehead. Told her I loved her. And drove 3 blocks away before pulling into an empty parking lot to sit in silence. I wasn't planning on confronting him. Truth is, I was barely holding it together myself. After everything I saw, the videos, the burner phone, the blackmail notes, I was walking through my days like a ghost. Functioning. Working. Smiling when I needed to. But inside, something dark had settled in. Not rage. Not grief. Focus. I wasn't about to explode. I wasn't about to shout in her face or throw her out. That's what she wanted. She'd already written that version of the story. I needed my version. And it started with the one man who, apparently, had his hands all over my wife. Dr. Mitchell Sawyer. Massage therapist. Mid-40s. Sleek, charming, always just a little too friendly. The guy had a private studio and a shared suite with a nutritionist and a Reiki healer, all nestled in one of those fancy New Age plazas where the walls smelled like eucalyptus and everyone spoke in whispers. He wore fitted shirts. Always smiled. Called everyone by their first name like you'd known him since kindergarten. Lauren used to joke that he had magic fingers. Now I knew exactly what kind of magic she meant. It was Tuesday morning when I pulled into the lot outside his building. I told Lauren I had an early work meeting. Kissed her on the cheek. She didn't even look up from her phone. I waited outside his office until a client left. A woman, mid-30s, expensive purse, tight jaw, walked out looking dazed, like someone who just had a religious experience. Mitchell stepped out to say goodbye. And that's when I walked in. "Hi," I said, flat and cold. He didn't recognize me at first. "Sorry, I'm actually booked," he started. "I'm Lauren's husband." That stopped him cold. For a second, I saw something flicker in his eyes. Not fear. Not even guilt. Recognition. Like, so this is happening now. He smiled, and opened the door wider. "Come on in," he said. "Let's talk." His office was too perfect. Dim lights. Acoustic guitar music humming through the speakers. A faint smell of lemongrass oil. The massage table was neatly draped. Rolled towels stacked like art. I didn't sit. He offered anyway. "Have a seat, Jack. You look tense." I ignored the chair. "I know about the massages," I said. He didn't flinch. I pulled the burner phone from my jacket pocket. Clicked it on. Scrolled to the messages. Turned it toward him. He leaned forward slightly, scanned the screen. Nodded. "Lauren said you might be checking up," he said. "She's sharp like that. You slept with her." He nodded again. More like he allowed the word to exist in the air. No denial. No apology. "We had an arrangement," he said simply. "She's married." She also said she was exploring open marriage territory. My jaw clenched so hard it cracked. "She never asked me." He tilted his head. "Did you tell her no when she asked for space?" "What?" I blinked. "She never asked for it." "Exactly," he said, like he'd won a debate. "She told me all about you. About how you're a good man. Kind. Honest. Stuck. That you wouldn't understand." That's when the nausea hit. Not because of what he said, but because he believed it. Like Lauren had crafted a perfect story, tailored just for him. A version of me she could weaponize. You're helping her sell the videos. Again, no flinch. Just a small smile. I help her manage distribution. She does the editing. I handle the logistics. I laughed. Cold. Empty. You're her producer. Partner, he corrected. I get 15%. That's when I did something I didn't plan. I reached into my pocket, pulled out the USB drive with all the screenshots, and tossed it on his desk. He didn't pick it up. Just looked at it. That's every file, I said. Every name. Every folder. Every note she's written. Still, he didn't move. Then I said the part one knew would land. She has a file on you too. Now his expression did shift. Just barely. I leaned in. She has screenshots of your texts. Your real name. Your personal number. Your LinkedIn profile. She said if you ever got weird, her words, not mine, she'd report you as a predator to your licensing board. You'd be done. He stared at me. I could see the wheels spinning. Slowly, very slowly, he reached for the USB and slid it toward himself. She said that. More than once. I let the silence hang. Then I added, you ever hear her mention something called REDFOLDER? That one hit home. He looked away. Yeah, he said. She said it was her insurance. What's in it? No clue. Only said it's off-site. Physical. And that if anything ever happens to her or her files, it gets released. I stood up. Listen, I said. I'm not here to fight you. I'm not here to expose you. He raised an eyebrow. I want her to burn, I said flatly. But I wanted to be clean. Controlled. I want it to hurt. He tilted his head again. Studying me. You think I'd help you? You don't have a choice. I smiled. Because if I go down, I'm taking every man in those folders with me. Including you. He exhaled through his nose. Thought for a moment. Then, finally, what do you need? By the time I walked out of that building, the plan had already begun. He'd give me access to the server logs. He'd identify her upload schedules, where the files were stored, who her buyers were. And I'd use it all. But not to humiliate her. Not yet. That would come later. This was about leverage. That night, she asked if I wanted to watch a movie. I nodded. She curled up next to me, under the blanket. Halfway through the film, she whispered, "We've been doing better lately." I smiled, kissed the top of her head. Inside, I was already writing the end of her story. People like Lauren don't gamble. They plan. They stack the deck. Pre-shuffle the cards. Hide the aces. They don't raise unless they already know the river. Which means if she was willing to take this many risks, selling private videos, juggling men, building fake contracts, then somewhere, she had insurance. Something untouchable. Undeletable. Something that could burn everything down with one spark if anyone crossed her. I had the name. REDFOLDER. She'd mentioned it in messages. Dr. Sawyer, the massage therapist, said she kept it off-site. Physical. Triggered automatically under certain conditions. So I did what anyone with a brain and a grudge would do. I found it. It started with her browser history. Lauren was smart, but not perfect. She used incognito mode, sure. But she was also logged into her Gmail on her laptop, which meant her Google Maps saved everything. I went back through the location timeline, dug through every ping, every save place, every pattern. One entry stood out, a storage unit she visited once every few months. Middle of the day. Always alone. Never mentioned it to me. Never took a single box there from the house. So what was she storing? I checked our shared bank account. She'd paid Sunny Space Storage for 11 months straight. $115 per month. I Googled the place. Tiny strip of garage-sized units off the highway. Security keypad. No front desk. I drove there on a Thursday morning while she thought I was at work. The keypad asked for a code. I guessed her birthday. Didn't work. Then I tried mine. Bingo. Unit number 204. The lock was basic. Same kind we used on the garden shed. I popped it open in seconds. And inside? Just one thing. A bright red fireproof folder. Sitting on top of an old blue tote. No labels. No markings. Just red. I took the folder. Left everything else untouched. Drove 2 towns over to a motel with cash in my pocket and nerves shot to hell. Locked myself in the room. Laid the folder on the bed. My hands were sweating. Then I opened it. And I swear, I stopped breathing. The first page was a list. People who can't talk. Underneath, names. Dozens. Next to each name were bullet points. Jen S. Got her fired from Gold's Gym after filming her changing in locker room. Has clips. Said nothing BC of boyfriend cheating. Victor D. DUI covered up. He owes me. Carla B. Paid her rent for 3 months in exchange for silence-free sleepover during her bachelorette weekend. Officer Nolan. Helped me get restraining order dismissed in 21. I know about his niece. It wasn't just gossip. It was leverage. And not just on men. Lauren had blackmail on everyone. Friends, clients, cops, a local judge, a pastor, photos, sign notes, screenshots, even one dirty USB with the label "Play If I Die." This wasn't just a backup. This was a burn book for adults. There was a sealed envelope in the middle. My name on it. Jack. I almost didn't open it. But curiosity is a nasty thing. Inside was a letter. Handwritten. If you're reading this, it means I either trusted you enough to share this, or you got nosy. Either way, you'll understand this by the end. People are stupid, Jack. They talk too much. They cheat. They lie. They run their mouths and spill their secrets like it doesn't matter. But I listen. You used to listen too. That's why I married you. But then you got quiet. Predictable. You started trusting. And that's when I knew I could never tell you what I really do. I never lied about loving you. I lied about needing you. And if you ever try to destroy me, just know, REDFOLDER survives me. And if it leaks, it won't just be me who goes down. It'll be you. It'll be them. It'll be everyone. This isn't protection, Jack. This is gravity. Get too close? You fall. I laughed. Not because it was funny. Because it was insane. She wrote it like a queen leaving instructions for a future civil war. Except this wasn't a castle. It was a rental house in a town no one cares about. With 2 kids. And a husband she'd turned into a puppet. And now? Now she was scared enough to build a file that could ruin lives if it ever saw daylight. The next file made my blood freeze. Backup plan, kids. It was a custody strategy. Outlines. Lawyer notes. Fake therapist statements she planned to use. Notes on how to make me look unfit. Start keeping notes. Jack yells in garage. Document. Stage a loud argument. Record audio. Claim stress around kids. Get pediatrician to sign off on anxiety. Fake a missed pickup. Screenshot messages without timestamps. I couldn't breathe. She wasn't just cheating. She was preparing to steal my children. I photographed everything. Page by page. Lined it all up. Double-checked the angles. Uploaded it all to a hidden drive on a new burner phone. Then I put everything back. Folder resealed. Lock reset. Unit closed. I even paid an extra month on the unit to throw off the scent. When I got home, Lauren was baking. She had flour on her cheek, music playing, our son babbling in the living room. A picture-perfect scene. I stared at her. She looked up, smiled. I was thinking we could go to the lake this weekend, she said. Just us. Just us. Sure. The folder, the videos, the burner phone, it was all enough to bury her. But I didn't want her buried. I wanted her humiliated. I wanted the world to see her not the way she posed on camera, but the way she really was. The puppet master. The user. The woman who recorded her husband without consent, built an empire of blackmail, and smiled sweetly through it all like butter wouldn't melt on her poisonous little tongue. So I built a plan. Not a revenge fantasy. A campaign. Step 1 was the files. I already had screenshots and photos of everything. But that wasn't enough. I needed the full inventory. Raw files. Metadata. Folder structures. Client names. I texted Dr. Mitchell Sire, the therapist turned co-conspirator, and told him I needed access to the main vault. He sent a drive the next morning. Said nothing in the message. Smart man. He knew he was already in too deep. The drive came with everything. 56 video files. A dozen PDFs, payment logs, crypto wallet receipts, her editing templates, even her camera presets labeled for different men. One folder was marketed as couple content. That was the one with my face in it. If she made money off my face, I was going to make money off her downfall. I didn't go to the police. I didn't call a lawyer. Not yet. I bought a domain, laurenunlocked.net. I paid for it anonymously. Next, I set up a crypto wallet with a new alias. Nothing fancy, just something simple and trackable. Then I got to work. Uploaded all 56 videos, watermarked them, not with her name, but with a new QR code in the bottom right corner. The code linked to the crypto wallet. A simple message overlaid at the end of every video. She charged you for this. I won't. If you're enjoying what she stole, donate to the one she betrayed. And underneath, small and cold. #revenge is free. I created an email account. Posed as a leaks site. Sent links to every one of her biggest buyers. The high-tier clients. The ones she'd bragged about having on lock. All of them got the same subject line. Your content was never exclusive. Enjoy. And in the body? The domain link. Free. Full access. No logins. No paywalls. Just everything. Within 48 hours, the site had over 30,000 hits. The QR code? Pinged. Donations started rolling in. People didn't just want free content. They wanted to fund the revenge. They left comments. Messages. This is the realest thing I've seen online. Respect for standing up to betrayal. Let her rot. This is justice. Whoever you are, I hope you're sleeping good. And every time I checked the balance, I smiled. Because that wasn't profit. That was pain paid back. Lauren didn't know yet. She had no clue. She thought we were getting better. That I was being quiet because I was healing. That her crocodile tears and fake apologies had worked. She even brought up renewing our vows. I want to be a better wife, she said, all soft eyes and pretend sincerity. I held her hand. Said, me too. Inside? I was laughing. But then came the twist I didn't expect. Someone sent her the link. Probably one of her regulars. Someone angry that their paid content was now public. She found the site. She saw the QR code. And she saw her whole empire turned inside out. I knew the moment it hit her. She came storming into the garage while I was working on the mower. Eyes wild. Phone in hand. Voice shaking. You disgusting piece of garbage, she said. I stood up, wiped my hands. I know, I said. It's awful, isn't it? When someone sells you out. You ruined everything. I tilted my head. You mean our home movies? Or the ones with Sawyer? Or the fake therapist notes? Which everything are we talking about? She lunged at me. Claws out. I caught her wrist mid-swing. Not hard. Just stopped her. No more lies, Lauren. She looked stunned. Like she couldn't believe I didn't back down. You've destroyed our family, she hissed. No, I said, calm as ever. You did. I just gave the world a front row seat. She tried threats. I'll go to the police, say you hit me. I smiled. Already submitted everything to my lawyer. Every screenshot. Every message. Every photo. She changed tactics. I'll take the kids. You forge fake custody files. Remember that. Silence. You don't get to be the victim, Lauren. Not this time. She didn't cry. She didn't plead. She just stared. That cold, calculating look she always used on weaker people. But I wasn't weak anymore. I was done. That night, she left. Packed 2 bags. Slammed the door.